bracket.
Nobody is currently in theaters and stars Bob Odenkirk, who obviously many of you know from Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, and for myself, Fargo. This is a film I was looking forward to because I know it is from the writer of the John Wick series, so I do like the John Wick trilogy. I know that there's going to be a fourth or fifth entry, which apparently this writer is not going to be a part of. It's a shame, but nobody follows a father who we don't really quite know much about other than he has a very mundane life, he has a family, but he feels very distant from them. And then one day, something occurs, a break-in, and then so begins a series of events. This was a movie that based on the trailer, which, yes, I actually did watch this trailer because they would play it all the time when I would go in theaters. Based on the trailer, I was like, this could be a good time. So I made sure to obviously see this in Dolby. And I have to say right off the bat, just like most Dolby movies that I see, the sound mixing is really good. Especially it being an action movie, it's kind of necessary, but it works really well. Bob Odenkirk gives a great performance, per usual. He's not someone you would think would be an action star, but watching it, I dig it. I can definitely see him, being an action star for real. Not only is he humorous, but he also just knows how to bring about that physique. I think he did a great job, honestly, in the role. The other thing is that the action scenes are fun, for sure. Especially like the first and second action scene. I thought that those action scenes were really well done, especially the scene at the bus. That was great, honestly. That was very visceral and intense. I'll mention probably the action scene at the very end, in terms of the negatives, but we'll get into that later. The other thing I wanted to mention is that I did like the style of this movie. This is a director that I believe it's one of his first movies, but I can clearly see this director going on to make bigger and better things because he definitely has a great outlook in terms of the cinematography. He knows where to put the camera, he knows where to edit, and I really like that about him. However, unfortunately, the story itself is pretty been there, done that. There's nothing really that stands out. A lot of it does feel like it's leftovers of the John Wick franchise, just with lesser world building that was interesting. Villain also really wasn't that interesting. I thought that he did a great job at obviously feeling like very much so like an opponent, but his motivations were muddled to say the least. I personally thought that, especially with how like he has essentially an ultimatum at the very end of the movie where he has like a decision that the main character gives him, and he decides to take the one way that you wouldn't think he would, but decides to be out of character. So it's like, what the heck? We need that, action scene at the end. Which, speaking of which, the action scene at the end, it's fun for a little bit, for sure. And I do like how, with where it's taking place, there were some pre-established things that end up getting obviously emulated, like example, the gun in the refrigerator. Well, the gun in the freezer, my mistake, not the refrigerator. The gun in the freezer, how he puts it earlier in the movie, and then later on in the movie he ends up using it. Like, that was cool. That was very interesting. But by the end of that action scene, it just became a shoot-'em-up gallery for the characters. So, I don't know. Like, it really just kind of depends on your mileage. If you want an action movie that's diverting, which, again, by all means, I get it, this is a movie for you because it definitely is diverting. It gets the job done with being fun and entertaining. But if you want an action movie that really stands up and is one of the best, definitely is not the case. This is not a Equalizer or John Wick. I think that it's a lesser version of both, to be honest. But it's still a movie that I would say watch for, the couple action scenes that are before. Because I believe there's 3 action set pieces. And the first 2 I did find myself actually very much so enjoying because the lead character is definitely someone that gets beat up in addition to obviously giving beatings. So you definitely have that sense of intensity that I think was necessary. So I would say watch for that, the lead performance, as well as the style. Again, I stand by my words. I think that this director, I think he can go places. If he puts that style with like a good script, I think that we have ourselves a really good director. But as it stands, I don't think nobody will remember this in a year. And nobody, I'll personally be giving a 2.5 out of 5 star rating, which, no hot sauce rating. But I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts on Nobody. And jokes aside, maybe people will really dig this movie in terms of like the longevity, but I don't know. I just don't see this being like a John Wick or the Equalizer for me personally. But I've been wrong before, and who knows? We'll probably get a Nobody 2, Nobody 3, and I'll watch it, because why not? But anyways, guys, Nobody, did you like it? I know most people did, so let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And as always, don't forget the subscription, notification bell, and I'll catch you guys later.